You know, Mr. Peabody and Sherman was originally an American cartoon that was to do with the Rocky and Bullwinkle show, and it's basically about this incredibly intelligent dog who has been an Olympic gold medalist, is a complete genius, and decides at one point it's time to adopt a son. So I play the voice of the time machine, the Wayback Machine. So I'm instrumental in the film in helping them go back in time, and don't want to give too much away, but they kind of mess things up a bit and then have to go back and sort it out.
How did you first get involved in the project? What excited you about it?
Oh, it's so amazing. I mean, it's an iconic cartoon that's now been made into a movie, and the Time Machine, the Wayback Machine, has never ever had a voice before. So I'm incredibly excited. And one of my friends actually, he saw it last night, a pre-screening in America, and he was like, I heard your voice, and I was so excited. I can't wait to see it. I'm ecstatic.
What's the Wayback sound like? What kind of a voice does a time machine have?
It's like time travel initiating, kind of like that. I think it's a classic story, and it's very interesting for me when I tell people, I'm the Wayback Machine. People, especially Americans, they've either said, oh, I don't know that, or oh, that's amazing. So I can't wait for this story to be introduced to Europe, to the UK, and I'm so happy to be a part of it.
Tell us a bit about some of the other voices we may recognise, because it's a wonderful voice cast alongside you.
Oh yeah. Ty Burrell from Modern Family is the lead, and then Mel Brooks is in it as well, Stephen Colbert, and maybe you can spot them as they go through. I love voice acting. It's all here, it's all in your voice, and with voice acting you get to create this entire world just from using your voice, and one day you can be an ogre, the next day you can be a fairy, and the next day you can be a time machine. So it's a very freeing medium, being a voice actor, creating this wonderful character just using your voice. And again, it doesn't matter how tall you are, how short you are, what religion you are, what the colour of your skin is, you can be anybody, from the ogre to the time machine.
What do you think fans are going to take away from this film overall when they get a chance to see it themselves?
I'm hoping it's just going to be really enjoyable, a great ride through, the peaks and troughs of being a family, as well as the comedy. There's going to be a lot of comedy in it. Look at the cast. So.
Excited about the song. Can you tell us a little bit about what inspired it and what made you get involved in this project?
I was saying before that when DreamWorks had approached me about doing this, they said, come and see the movie and you're going to get it. So I saw the movie, and I saw my relationship with Junior, with Peabody and Sherman. Sherman is my son, through and through. Doesn't like the jokes I say, which I think the jokes are pretty good personally, but he doesn't like them. And everything I tell him not to do, he goes and does. Typical 8-year-old child. The movie, when I saw it, they turned around and said, what do you think? And I said, well, that's me and Junior. They said, well, go and write a song about it. And that's as easy as it happened. So me and a guy called Steve Appleton wrote Kid, and I didn't know how they'd react. The title was pretty obvious, but I thought, are they going to like it? I wanted to put a bit of old-fashioned rock and roll in it. They loved it. How grateful am I?
It's a new rock sound we can expect from you going forward. Is this something we're going to see more from you in the future?
If I'm allowed to add rock and roll in a pop song, I'm going to start adding blues, jazz, soul, all the stuff that I love, and I'm going to do an album a completely different way to anything I've ever done, and I hope it works.
What else have you got coming up in 2014? Obviously a very busy year for you both professionally and personally, of course. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Personally, I think it's just been incredible. And work-wise, this is a great start to the year. We've got 60-minute makeover, a tour later in the year, an album. It's great.
Where are you at with the album at the moment?
This is the first song, but we've got 12 tracks ready to record and go. But all of them are these sorts of elements of the stuff that I loved. This one's rock and roll, and you'll see all different elements. I hope you like it. It's great fun.
It's obviously been a really big year for you. How, and romantic-wise as well, because you've proposed. What are you going to do for Valentine's Day? How are you going to top that?
No idea. I don't even think I can beat it now. I'm like thinking, is Valentine's Day going to be an anti-climax? I've got to get thinking. And it's February the 1st today.
Yeah.
I haven't even thought. No, of course I've thought about it. I've been planning it for years. I have no idea.
Are you looking forward to the film? Are you excited about this one?
Yeah, I am. I think it'll be really good. I don't know much about it. Obviously, I know it's about time travel, which would be great. But yeah, I mean, it's always lovely to sit down with your children and have a laugh and watch a film. And it's one of our favourite things to do. Eliza loves the cinema, and she's only 3, but she's been going to the cinema since she was probably nearly 2. And it's quite a rarity to get children to sit down for 90 minutes, do you know what I mean? But she's used to it, which is great. I was just like, sit down, train you, I'm going to train you to sit and watch films. So she does, so it's good.
If you were given a time machine in real life, are there any particular historical periods or points in your own life you'd go back, anything you'd like to go back and kind of meddle around with, change?
I wouldn't go back in my own life. I don't think we should want to change anything. I think our life shapes us for who we are. I was just saying down that end to that lovely lady that I'd probably go back to kind of Hendrix, Dylan, Joplin times, hang out with those guys in the early 60s. I'd probably do that, I know, yeah. I pretend that I'm rock and roll, but I'm not. I'd like to be.
We're loving having you back in Enders at the moment. I guess the first and most obvious question, did you ever think that was going to happen? Was that something that you always thought was on the cards?
Yeah, and I never ruled it out, but I was never arrogant enough to think it was a definite. You never know, really, so I'm just really honoured that they've asked me back. It's great.
What was it like the first day back on set? How did it feel?
Just feel really happy about it, you know. It was just great to be back with everyone, and everyone's just lovely to work with. It just really is a lovely place to work. It's got a really nice vibe about it at the moment because we've got, you know, new bloods injected into it with Danny and all the people there, Kelly Bright and stuff. And we've also, you know, seen people like Steve McFadden and Michael French and Adam Woodjack, who I've known for years. It's just lovely to be back with friends, really.
Of course, I mean, Sonia's a character that I think people really took to their hearts. How do you think, I mean, obviously you've changed a lot off screen.
Yeah.
How do you think the character's changed? What do you think we're going to see from her?
I don't think she's changed a lot. I think, you know, it's great that I think she's come back. And they said, how do you want to come back? And I was like, no makeup, old clothes. I was like, what clothes have you got for me? You know, I didn't want any glamour for Sonia. I don't think she should ever look glamorous, you know. I think she should always be the girl next door who's going to work and she's tired and she's working hard, and I think people like to see that rather than someone who's all sort of done up all the time, you know. It's not realistic for Sonia, so she's just been working hard, and as usual there's going to be a lot of heartache. It's EastEnders, that's what happens.
Danny and the new family really, I think, have been a big hit. Why do you think Danny's been such a good fit for the show?
I don't know really. He's just slotted right in. I think it was very difficult before to even think about him being in it. It was always a bit like, how's Danny going to fit in? But he does fit in, and it's great. You know, it's really, really good.
What are you most looking forward to coming forward this year?
Working really hard back at work, seeing my daughter grow up well, and just enjoy a bit of family life. Really, single family life.
Really excited about the film.
Why are you so excited about this one?
Well, the storyline's a bit like wonky, you know. It's a dog is adopting a child, not a child adopting a dog, so that's quite cool.
Are you a dog person yourself? Do you like dogs?
Yeah, I've just got a new dog, so I'm just playing around with her, you know.
What's her name? I'm assuming it's not Mrs. Peabody. What have you called your new dog?
Coco Chanel.
Was that your idea or was that someone else's idea?
That was someone else's, but yeah, we just adopted her and now we love her. So.
Have you started teaching her any tricks yet?
Yeah, she does sit, paw, so yeah, she does not that many tricks. She's not much of a trick dog, but she runs around a lot. She's very active. We thought, now we've got a French bulldog, that she'd be very slow, like normal bulldogs, but she goes 300 miles an hour. She's so fast.
Of course, Mr. Peabody's a dog with his own time machine. If you had a time machine, when would you like to go back to? Are there any sort of historical places or times? Where would you go if you had your own time machine?
Henry VIII, he was cool. 6 wives, cool.
Would you like to have that many wives?
Yeah.
Why do you want 6 wives? Why isn't one enough? Why do you want 6?
Don't know. Just that's the way it goes.
Is there a girlfriend? Is there a Mrs. Harry at the moment? Have you got a girlfriend?
Maybe.
Looking forward to this film?
Yes, very much so. I have no idea what it's about though, but Dixie knows and she's very excited. It's about some time machine. She keeps telling me. And Pete told her, Pete Andre told her a princess was upstairs, and now she thinks that there's a princess upstairs. So she's going to be a bit disappointed when she gets up there and just sees it's just a princess, a kid.
How does it feel to be out now? I mean, that sounds like you just got out of prison, but how does it feel to be out of the house?
Like I just got out of prison, but it's good to be out. It's good to see everyone and catch up, and obviously spend time with Dixie and go out with my friends. So it feels like I've got a lot to do.
I mean, looking back in your experiences in the house, I mean, obviously there were highs, there were lows. For you, what was the best thing, what was the worst thing about being in the house for a lot longer than you initially expected, I think?
Yeah, a lot longer. The best thing was probably, I really like doing the tasks because you get so bored in there. The best thing was escaping though. I was constantly escaping, like running around the camera runs and climbing over things and busting out of jail. It was like a personal challenge to escape from Big Brother. So that was good. And the worst thing was just being woken up every morning by really bright lights. And if you didn't get out of bed, they would ring this alarm and remind you that you had to get up. So that wasn't great.
I mean, initially you weren't Jim's biggest fan, but obviously you went on to win. I mean, how do you feel about that? And by the end of the show, what were your feelings towards him?
I started off liking Jim, and then I didn't like him, and then I liked him. But no, you know what, I'm pleased he's won. He was a worthy winner, and, you know, the public gets the vote, and the public wanted Jim to win. So.
Which show was better for you, The Apprentice or Big Brother?
Oh, God. I probably preferred The Apprentice, just because Big Brother was it's quite boring sometimes. Whereas, like, you're just sitting around a sofa in Big Brother, and on The Apprentice you're out and you're also interacting with other people. I never watched Big Brother, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to do it, and all my friends were like, just do it, you'll only be there for a week. So, but Liz only thought she'd be there for 4 days. Liz bought 4 pairs of knickers. I bought like 7 pairs of knickers. I thought I'll bring a week's worth, but I just kept having to wash them. It's awful.
What would you love to do next, like if you had any choice?
God, I don't know. Anything. I like TV. I think I do like TV, and I'd like to do more stuff in TV. If people want to see me, then I'll do it. And as long as people don't, then I'll go when they don't want to see me anymore.
It's going to be good fun. Unfortunately, Podsy can't watch the film, so I brought my brother with me, so he's going to be my stand-in for Podsy today.
This is a film about a very special dog who has his own time machine. If you had a time machine, what would you do with it? Where would you go? Is there anything you'd like to change, either in your own life or in history?
I'd have to say go and do Britain's Got Talent again, because it was such an amazing experience, but it's one of those things where you're enjoying it, but you're so nervous that you're not enjoying it, if that makes sense. So if I could, I'd go back and just take time to relax and think, you know, just enjoy it a bit more.
Talking about the future, what are you working on at the moment? What's coming up next for you?
Podsy's movie, so that's really exciting. It's going to be out July the 18th, so very exciting. And then I've got my CBBC show, which is going to be back on, so filming this year, so really exciting. Another busy year, which is brilliant.
Talking about the movie first, I mean, we've had a chat a few times before about it, but what can fans just expect overall? What are you most excited for people to get to see?
I think the big thing about the movie is very family orientated, so it brings a family together that's a little bit broken, but Pudsey comes in and fixes all of that. So I think that's a big thing that I want to get across, that it is very, very family. It's for everybody, not just for people that are fans of Pudsey. It's got loads of different animals as well, so whatever animal you like, I'm sure it's going to be in there.
Are there any particular tricks that he's going to be doing that we maybe haven't seen before from this very talented canine?
Well, all I'm saying is he did all of his own stunts, so everything you see Pudsey doing in the movie, that is all him. So he did have to learn some new tricks, so there are some new ones in there, so keep an eye out.
Just quickly, the CBBC show, can you tell us a little bit more what we can expect from the next series of that?
Yep, it's called Who Let the Dogs Out, and it's a little bit different this year. I can't say too much, but it's going to be a little bit more me and Pudsey training, showing people how to teach their dogs. So yeah, just a little bit different and even more fun.